What's going on, beautiful people? You've hit the play button, so that means you might slightly be interested, just a little bit, of some of the bullshit that I spew on this channel. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for hitting the play button. In this video, we're gonna talk about 5 foods that you should probably stay away from as much as you can. Preferably for good, but we know how difficult that is in the modern world. But just try to stay away from them as much as you can. Some of them, try your best not to eat, period. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about them, right? So before we get going, your relationship to food is crucial, right? We are all connected. We're all one. And, the food that you eat has some energy in it, not just calories, right? But it's more than that. Not just calories, vitamins, minerals. It's, especially if you're eating living things, right? You're eating living things. You're ingesting the consciousness of the plant or the consciousness of the animal. If you're eating an animal, right? Or if you're eating a plant. When you smoke marijuana, your state of consciousness is different. That's because you're now operating with the consciousness of the plant inside of you. So it's important. Our diet, our nutrition is key, right? So it's very important to have a healthy relationship with your food. We're going to talk about 5 foods. Try to stay away from them as much as you can, preferably for good, okay? And again, it's up to you. I don't want to shove it down anybody's throat, this being healthy, eating healthy, because you have to experience being healthy for yourself, and then it'll become almost a no-brainer not to eat that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's get started. Enough ranting. Number 1, fried foods. Anything that is deep fried, like I'm talking about fast food, right? So McChicken, Junior Chicken, what's Burger King's Whopper, right? All these things, they're deep fried. Well, not all of them, but most of their food is, amongst many issues with the food. Deep fried, right? French fries. You might as well drink poison and kill yourself right now, because you're putting poison, you're killing yourself, but slower. When you're putting down these foods that have been deep fried by vegetable oils that are processed and just absolutely terrible. Most of these oils, they have trans fat in it. And I believe, but please don't quote me on that because I could be totally off. I believe in the States, they're going to come to ban products that have trans fat. In other words, whether that's true or not, I think they're thinking about it. But it's funny because for the last, I don't know how long, 70 years, maybe more, we've been ingesting foods that have a lot of, they have a lot of trans fat in them, and use vegetable oils, and they use vegetable oils to cook. It's poisonous. Fried foods is something I would probably put down my foot on and say avoid it altogether, right? I wouldn't even go for an occasional treat. That's just me, okay? That's just me. I wouldn't even go for an occasional treat, anything that is deep fried. I would completely stay away. That's just, I'm telling you guys what I do, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, candy. Anything that is high in sugar, has like a shot of sugar, that's gonna mess up your insulin response. That's gonna release glucose, sugar, so much quick to your blood. Your body produces insulin to deal with it, and then you crash and you feel tired. Consuming these foods that are just pure sugar, like a chocolate bar or a candy bar, or these things are like, Coke and Pepsi. That causes a lot of inflammation in your body, and you'll eventually have chronic inflammation. And then eventually you're on your way to get diabetes. In my family, diabetes runs in the blood. If I eat sugar, I'm 100% gonna get diabetes, because some people in my family already have diabetes. And it's common. It's common. So, stay away from that foods. keep it maybe to an occasional treat. You know, I personally, just again, personally, I treat myself every now and then. Chocolate bar, candy bar, something like that, right? A cookie, you know. But it's best to just, as a lifestyle, also strain away from it. Instead, if you feel like you want something sugary, grab a banana, pineapples, figs, and dates. Not only are these four things goddamn delicious, they have fiber in them, and the way your body is meant to consume sugar is with fiber. And if you're eating natural diet, natural fruits, they have the fiber. So you're not getting the sugar to just completely jam into your bloodstream. It sort of goes in bit by bit because of the fiber. And of course there's minerals, vitamins, some things have probiotics in them, so many good benefits, digestive enzymes, right? So I haven't had a candy bar in, I think, over 3 weeks now, over a month, or maybe let's put it even more. In the last 3 months, I maybe had like 2 candy bars. I like chunky, right? Kit Kat. But if I feel like I want something sugary, I grab a banana. I'm eating bananas every day. I eat pineapples every day. And if I really want something sweet, I eat like maybe 5 dates or like 5 figs. Not only are they so good, I just don't, you know, to me that's better actually than like a chunky bar or a Twix bar. It tastes better. I like the taste of it better. A date or a fig. So if you're really craving for sugars, go for the dates, go for the figs. And then, you know, eventually you just won't even have the craving for candy bars, right? So try to stay away from it. Treat yourself maybe occasionally, but again, the alternatives are there in the natural diet. So that's number 2. We talked about fried foods. We talked about candy and candy and just things that have a high shot of sugar without fiber, minerals, anything like that. Number 3, mass-produced meat, beef and chicken. And the reason why I say that is because the stuff you buy from the supermarket, the chicken and the beef that you buy from supermarkets, these animals are put in such terrible conditions. Not only are you picking up on the suffering of these animals in these unnatural conditions where the animals are it's a stressful environment. I mean, think of it like you walk into that, like an area where there's a lot of pollution in like factory, you feel anxious, you know what I mean? And it carries with you, that energy carries with you. In the same way, when these animals are put in these terrible conditions and you're eating them, you're picking up on that anxiety, you're picking up on that suffering that they've gone through. And there's a lot of antibiotics and a lot of unnatural pesticides and all of that. And actually, one of the things I believe in chicken, I don't know if it's in beef, the stuff you buy from supermarkets, they have like a high level of estrogen, which causes breast cancer for women and causes testosterone levels to plummet for men, causing maybe more effeminate behavior. And yeah, just stay away from that. If you're gonna eat animals, if you're gonna eat beef, if you're gonna eat chicken, get it from somewhere where it's naturally farmed. The animals are raised in an environment that is as close to nature as possible. Know where it's coming from, okay? That's number 3. Number 4, processed grains and processed grains. So things like white rice, things like white pasta, things like white bread, because they've been totally stripped by the minerals and the fiber and all the good stuff, all the good nutrient stuff in it. And I don't know why they do the stripping. I'm pretty sure it has to do with money. I'm pretty sure just whatever they do, they make more money that way. But you're missing out. You're just getting the pure calorie, the pure energy, which by the way acts in the same way on your body as sugar. It does. It gets processed the same way. So when you eat a bowl of pasta or like a bread or like a bowl of white rice, you're gonna have an insulin crash. Just watch yourself the next time you do it. you're gonna have instant crash because your body's gonna process it the same way. There's no fiber to release the sugar in a more steady manner to your blood. Again, that's eventually gonna cause chronic inflammation, will lead to diabetes, and just fatigue, mental fatigue, insulin sensitivity down the drain. If you really want to eat grains, go for like whole grains, whole wheat bread, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, that kind of stuff. Okay? That's number 4. And finally, number 5, pop, so Pepsi, Coke, that kind of stuff. I would probably just get rid of that altogether. Drink water instead. Because look, your body's dehydrated, and instead of you nourishing your body with water, you grab this sugar juice and you shove it down. You're not even really getting hydrated, and you're just making the problem even worse. It's better to replace it with water. I haven't had pop, I think, in over 5 or 6 years. I think that's one thing. If your diet is not on point, start off with that, because that's an easy place to start. That's an easy habit to replace. Just replace the pop with water. If you have a habit of drinking Pepsi or Coke with your meal or after, just replace it with water. It's I think one of the easiest transitions you can do, and it'll really do a lot for your waistline and for your health. So again, let me go over them one more time. Fried food, candy, and like chocolate bars and things that have just pure sugar and like no fiber and no nutrients. Mass-produced chicken and beef. Processed grains. Instead, go for whole grains if you really want to eat grains. And finally, number 5, stay away from pop and Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up, that kind of stuff. Just replace it with water, And, it's hard to be a nun and a saint, and who wants to be that when it comes to your diet. But what I'm going to tell you is this. You got to experience good health for yourself to understand the importance of good health. And then you got to experience sickness to understand the importance of good health. Okay? When your immune system is on point and your body feels alive and feels vital and feels full of energy and full of life, you get up every single morning and you're ready to go. You're ready to go. Hey man, I'm ready to go. Let's take on the day. Let's take on the day. Because you're healthy. And when you experience that, it becomes much easier to not eat these foods. Right? It's hard when you're addicted to them and that's what you've been doing all your life. But just discipline yourself for 3 months. Just 3 months, okay? And I say 3 months because by, around, in the 3rd or 4th month of disciplining yourself, of being a nun, of being a saint when it comes to dieting, then go and have a big cheat meal. Or treat yourself. And then see how you feel that day and the next day. That contrast, how you were feeling here versus how you're feeling now, is going to provide you with the push, with the motivation to say, you know what? I'm just going to stick to this eating healthy stuff because I feel great. I feel fantastic, man. I feel positive and everything is amazing. And, my conversations with people have been better and my relationships have been better. Let me just adopt this healthy way to go on about it. So just try being healthy for yourself. Discipline yourself. Discipline yourself, okay? And then that feeling of amazing benefits you get from being healthy is going to push. One day you're just going to realize, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do it that way. And remember, we've been doing this naturally for thousands of years. Hunter-gatherers, 200,000 years. It's just in the last little bit of our history as humanity, the last little tiny bit is when we fucked up our diet. So that's it. Check out my free book, 5 Powerful Habits to Dominate Life in All Areas. Other than that, I love you guys. Love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.